Hello, hello, friends. Happy Tuesday night. It's late night crafting. Can you believe it? Late night crafting is back Tuesday night here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. I better tell my husband to turn that. He just got home from work and he's turning the TV on and it'd be loud. Can you guys hear that? It's a little bit loud. All right, let me see if I can see you. Can you see and hear me? Please let me know if there's any audio or if you can't see. Just want to make sure it's working correctly before I get started. I am broadcasting using StreamYards. That means I can show you the two camera views, and it also means that I am able to broadcast on both YouTube and on Facebook. So hello to anybody who's here from Facebook. Hello to anyone who's here from YouTube or in the Crafty Chicks Club, my free craft community. Hello, Denise. Hey, Jana, I see you. Thanks for saying hello. I see Kim Fogel. Oh, yay. Thanks for letting me know. She can hear everything. Ah, yes. Awesome. Awesome. Sawsome. Here I am. Hey, Janet. Sandra's here. Hey, Gia. Gia says, I haven't watched a live in forever. Girl, we're here for you on replay, even if you don't. It's okay. It's okay. I have not done late night crafting in forever. Because remember, I had that coaching group that I did, and it was supposed to be a 6-week coaching group, and it ended up being 8 weeks. So that was quite a break from late night crafting on Tuesday nights, but here we are, we're back. I would love to hear from you. If you prefer late night crafting, do you prefer early morning crafting? What do you like in terms of watching lives and being inspired and having that time together? I would love to know. I would love to hear from you. There's Miss Amanda, my friend. Hey, Amanda, how are you, friend? Janice, I asked you guys, the only one person responded to me. It was Janice. And so Janice, I'm going to do what you suggested. She said, let's do an art journal page. I haven't seen one in a while. Well, I just did an art journal page inside the Craft Therapy Club on Saturday. Not this past, was it this Saturday or the last Saturday? This past Saturday. We did an art journal page in there, but let's do one tonight too. Let's do it tonight. Hey, Janet, how are you? Hey, Christina. I see you. Hey, good evening, Miss Sue. So I thought what I'd do is start by just showing you, I was like trying to figure out which journal do I want to work in. And I have quite a few journals. This isn't even all of them because I have 3 more journals for the Craft Therapy Club alone. But I thought I'd just kind of show you, I would love to know, is art journaling new to you? Just in case somebody doesn't know what it is. I will show you some of my art journal pages. I'm not going to do a complete flip through. This is way too many book pages to go through, but I thought I'd just show you a little bit. Gia likes anytime, but early morning is good for you. Okay. Debbie says, I usually catch replay because it's late in Florida. Yeah, that's why we call it late night crafting, girlfriend. Trisha says, I'm with Janet. I'm not a morning person. I love that comment. Trisha, I love that comment. Janet says, I love it all. I do work, so all is good except when I have my grands, which is every weekend. So many of you take care of the grandbabies. I love it. It's awesome stuff. Jana's not an early bird, she says. I can do either. I'm up early and I'm up late. Truthfully, I'm up early and I'm up late. So, all right, we're going to talk about art journaling. I'm grabbing my chair here, trying to get comfy. I have a few journals going, and you can see. So we can do journals in books that are made specifically for journaling. That's these. I bought these in a set of 3. And these are by Arteza is the brand name. And it comes with nice, thick mixed media paper. When I buy journals, I do look at the thickness of the paper because you want paper that can handle a lot of mediums, meaning liquids, meaning liquid gel or matte gel or glossy gels or crackle paste or any of those products that you use, paints and sprays. You want to be able to use it on the pages, so you want them to be thicker. So I do traditionally look for books that have thicker pages. You can see exactly in both of these books that I've used up just about the same number of pages. And I did start 2 of them because this one, when I bought my Inktense pencils. Look at first Inktense. This was the first time I ever used an Inktense pencil, and I was just practicing with them just to see what they do. So many of these pages are just that I was trying to do kind of a wood grain look. I was just practicing with those Inktense pencils and seeing what they can do. Just playing, literally just playing. This is an art journal. Okay. Some people do write their feelings and emotions in art journals. I tend to just do artwork and play with my stash, my supplies. So you can see this one is just a lot of trying to use the Inktense pencils in a variety of ways. This one was with a stencil to see how they work. Here's another stencil. More stenciling. So anyway, this one, and then after I had all of these pages that were just really just trying to see what the Inktense pencil does, then I started to get more elaborate in the journal pages. Like here, this has some writing. I am the living bread who came down from heaven. Whoever eats this bread shall live forever. So this little church here. On this page, I've got some flowers with some phrases. See, so just your art journals can be whatever you want. They can be big, they can be small, they can be elaborate, they can be super simple. They don't have to have all the same products used in them. You can, or this one I really did just intend to do practice with these pencils and crayons that I've been getting, but then I started to get more elaborate in it, and that's okay. Anyway, that's that one. This one, I was truly intending it to be an art journal for all kinds of more elaborate pages. So you'll see that in some of these are a little more elaborate using texture mediums. This one has napkins on it and some papers and texture mediums, more texture here. Practicing with stencils and crackle paste. You can do double spreads, you can do single spreads, you can have a mixture of both in one book. You can do whatever the heck you want. Sometimes I like really bold and bright, and sometimes I like more muted. It's okay. Both are perfectly fine. There are no rules. You just get to do whatever you want. See this page? I don't know what happened with this page. But there's a girl here and she got totally darkened out. Like there is a girl there. You can hardly see her though. I don't know what I did. So that page to me is a total goof up, but I'm fine. I leave it in there. It's process, it's practice, it's playing with your stuff and having fun with your pages. Anyway, these are books that are sold specifically for journaling. In fact, here's the cover for this book. Cold pressed paper, double-sided, acid-free, linen bound. So they're sewn in pages. 88 pages of watercolor paper that is 110 pound. That's the thickness of the paper. Okay. This one, same thing. It's an Arteza book. And this one is my spiritual journal. So I do a lot of like contemporary Christian song lyrics in here, or prayers, like just like prayer intentions of my own, or maybe it's a verse from church that really struck me this week. So it's just anything that I think of that's more prayer related. Okay, so that's that one. Those are specific journals that you buy because you are going to journal in them. These are library books. Got this at a thrift store. I should say they're used books. This one I got at a thrift store for free in their bargain basket and started playing in it. And this one's almost full. So this was an actual novel that I glued sections of pages together to make these thicker and then just created on top of the book pages. Okay, this one's almost done. You can see the book pages here underneath that. And then I glued, like these are all glued together. I think they all are. Not well done. Oh no, look. Those got stuck together. But see, they're pretty thick. So anyway, you can use novels. This is a Reader's Digest book. This one is completely finished. This one is no more pages left in this stinker. It is completely full. And I can just flip through just to give you an idea of the kinds of things that I like to do in my books. That one's really fun, right? So see, I do like to do bold and bright sometimes. Tonight, we're going to work in the biggest book that I own. It's my newest book too. Let me put all these aside. Whoa, what was that? Okay, I gotta get up. I can't roll. There's not enough room on the floor. Okay, this is my most recent purchase. Didn't buy it like this last week, but it's my most recent purchase and it's rather big. This is a really big one. And I've already worked in it a little bit. But this page, I just offloaded some gold paint. And so we're going to work on this spread. And I'll show you the supplies I grabbed for this. Have I ever counted them all? I haven't, Holly. I haven't. Janice says, I'm going to do a spread in my Bible journal with the post you posted, Talking to God. It so touched my soul. Oh, good, Jana. That's a great idea. That's a great page topic or focal point. I'm going to shut this light, you guys. Hold on a second. I'm going to shut that light, that overhead light, because it's casting a shadow. So we can see if maybe the table had less. Yeah, so now there's less of a shadow because I shut the overhead light off. It is cool to look back, right, Marie? Now that you have a book with some pages done in it, it is really fun to look back. And I do, in some of my books, I do date the pages and take notes. Like, so if I'm only using this side, I'll very purposefully just use one side and then use this side to take notes, write down the stuff that I used, or write down a technique that I used, or anything significant about that page that I might want to remember. Hi, Vicki. Glimmer paper. Aw, thanks, Mary. You haven't art journaled in a hot minute. Hey, Jimmy Lou, thanks for being here. She said she hasn't done it in a hot minute. Well, maybe tonight will inspire you to bust out your art journal. Good. Christina said, I got a couple of books from the Dollar Tree to do altered books with. Fun. That sounds exciting. That sounds like something to look forward to. You remember the girl with the skirt? Patty, she's one of my faves. There are a few pages that are more dear to me. But I love her with the little skirt just glued down on there. Look at her hair. She's got two buns on her head. That's funny, isn't it? And I love the contrast of the bright blue and pink with the black. And I think I'm going to do something similar to that, except I'm not going to use bright blue and pink. We have gold on here already. So I'm thinking gold. I'm going to show you what I pulled out. Okay, first, I pulled out this folder. I have a folder with just images for art journaling so when I see an image that I like that I think I would want to use in an art journal, I put it in here. So I've got my mugshot girls in here. So we used one of these mugshots in the Craft Therapy Club in that other journal page. Oh no, it was the mermaid I ended up using. But I am a big fan of mugshots. This is another one, vintage mugshot. But I have a bunch of collage paper from Dina Wakley in here. And I specifically was going to use one of these. She has some big ones. So if we look at these big ones, like they could take up a whole page. Isn't that awesome? And she has that. I didn't realize that. I bought these a long while back, but she has some. See, this one has a lot of black. So that's why I was thinking I might do something with the contrast of black. But I'm going to do some metallics and black. And you can help me pick which of these girls, because she has a few of them in this set that are pretty big. Her or her. Now, my favorites. Okay, not her. She's not a favorite. I like these two, actually. I like these two a lot. So you guys tell me, should I use the one on the right or the one on the left? The one on the right or the one on the left? I'll let you guys choose. But these are all sketches by Dina Wakley. And she puts them on. I'll show you her packaging. Hold on. I bought a few of these sets. So it's Dina Wakley Media collage paper if you want to buy it and you're looking for it. Tissue sheets printed in black and white. So some of the pages are printed in black, some of them are printed in white. Let me see if I can find one in white. I think this one's in white. So see, I don't know if you can see it. Did you see the face there? So you would put it on a dark background, right? So she has quite a few of those to choose from. I just got them I probably got them off Amazon. I don't know exactly. But are we using the girl on the right or the girl on the left tonight? You guys tell me. I like them both too. I like them both. And I plan on doing a double spread and playing on both of these, but I think I just want one girl on the right side for this. Hey, Missy, how are you, friend? We're trying to decide, should we use the one on the right or the one on the left for this journal page? I'm seeing a lot of right. She's really bold. Her hair is really bold. I actually really love this one. For me, personally, I love them both, but I'm more drawn to this one because her hair is here, but it's all clear. Like there's nothing there. So you could do whatever you wanted with her hair. With her hair there's a lot of black in her hair. So there's not as many options for playing with color with all that. Jana likes them both. I think most of you voted for right. Janet says left. Jimmy Salou says, I like the one you didn't like. This is the beauty of it. We all see things a little bit different. Trisha likes the one on the left. The majority of you, by far. Jimmy Lou says the one on the left. Maureen says the one on the left. I'm seeing more rights, though. Oh, there are some more lefts. You love these girls, Maureen. Aren't they cool? Hey, Lori Thine. How are you? I'm trying to read. I love this book. Jimmy Lou wants to know, how do I like the Delusions book? I do like it. It's different in the fact that the binding isn't connected. So it's a book that's glued onto this cover, this cardboard cover. I haven't even taken this off yet. This is like it's just so pretty. This band right here that is like, it wraps around and it glues in here. I haven't taken it off, but there's a little manila folder glued here so you can put papers or whatever you want in there. I love that it has this red cloth binding on it. It's huge, you guys. It's enormous. The pages are sewn in. And the other thing I wanted to point out, it has this elastic on it that will hold it closed once you start filling it, and it starts getting bigger and bigger and thicker and thicker. So I don't even want to take that off because I just think it's so pretty. I love the colors so much. All right. Anyway, let's get to this point here where we're going to right or left, which one. So we're going to glue her down eventually. I really love putting things behind these images on tissue paper because I like to see the color shine through. So we're going to choose one of these two, and beside that, it already has gold on the page. There's already gold here. I was just offloading some gold off a paintbrush. So it just got offloaded onto that blank page. But I also grabbed some rice papers from in the store. And these are the rice papers that I chose to perhaps use with it. So I have this one. It has some newsprint on it, but it's all grunged up. It's called Chandelier Background. This one, these are all Decoupage Queen, which I am a retailer for Decoupage Queen. This one's fabulous. And it isn't metallic, but it has like a copper color to it. I'm going to pull out some foils, and I think I'm going to use some foils tonight. This one really appeals to me. And the other one that I pulled that I could also use, this one's really great too. This one has a damask feel. So I think I actually have narrowed it down to, I'll use this for sure, because I really love this one. And then maybe, we'll see, maybe I'll pull that one in. I'm not going to use the damask one at all. I pulled them from the store, from the shop. Like I'm like, what papers do I want to use? And then I thought, well, these are 3 possibilities, but I don't have to use them all. So I'm going to put this in the background somewhat. So we can wait on the decision of the girl. Let's work on some background a little bit. So I got to pull out some paint colors that match this. And I knew I wanted to use gold because I've already got gold on there. So I grabbed a gold. So I'm going to do a little bit of prep. Now my lights are out in this room, so it's hard for me to see. But I'm going to grab some paint colors that may match what we got going on in here. I know that it's hard for you to see, but there is some blue, like a deep blue, and this coppery color. And this isn't quite white, but it's more like a tan color. So I start going into my paint stash and pulling colors that might closely match what's going on in this paper, so that I'm going to put some of the paper down, but I'm going to put paint around it so it's really cohesive. This is called penny. So that penny copper might work really well too. So let me grab that. I'm going to look at my blues though. And I just turned the lights out, so I can't really see what I'm doing back here. But I'm going to grab a couple of blues that may or may not be close to what we got going on. Is this? No, it's more of a green blue. These are all way too bright. It's more of a green blue. Turquoise maybe is the right word. But somehow this is closer, but it's a little bit too bright. So I'm going to keep the blue out. Just if I have to mix, I will. And let me go over here and see. I know I have some metallics in this bluish green color. And I know I have another couple of golds. Uh-oh. Dropped one. The cover is broken on one of my golds. All right. These are all metallics, or this one's like color shift. So these could be cool to play with in here. This one, metallic peacock pearl. That actually is really close to that blue. And then this cover is broken. I broke it off, but these are some more golds. Okay, now we've got a bunch of paints ready to go. And we know we're going to use this paper. I think I'm going to start by just putting a little bit of paint down. Gesso or not gesso? What are your thoughts? Should we gesso the paper first? What would you do? Try to get this right in the middle here so you can really see what I'm doing. There we go. Should we gesso some? And do I gesso? I have black gesso. I might just use this beige one. I don't want to lose this gold though. Just to be truthful with you. I don't want to lose my gold since it's on there already. Let me check comments and see what everybody's saying. Gesso, yes. Your gold collection looks like, my gold collection looks like yours, Jana. I'm going to put some gesso around where there's no gold, because I already got the gold down and I don't want to lose it. Let's just slobber some of that on there. I use very improper art terms. We slobber things. We slobber them down. We're not worried about being too grammatically correct with our word choices. This is, you know, if you've watched me for a hot minute, you know, this is going to be layer upon layer upon layer of color and texture and design. So I'll probably pull in, I'm thinking I'm going to pull in a stencil, and I absolutely do want to use foils. So I have a few things in mind that I want to do. I'm going to take this and put it underneath so I don't go over. It's just a craft mat. And we're just going to get some of this down. It sucks right, it's sucking right into these, to the journal pages, because the journal pages are so porous. So what the gesso is going to do, it's priming those pages so that I can put color on them. and it'll just make the art supplies more workable on the paper. It's a primer. So think of your gesso on paper like a primer. I need more than I thought because it really is sucking it up. And look at the difference in color from when it's beaded up on there. And then when I spread it, it got actually much darker, that beige. Interesting. I don't want to lose my gold, so I'm just going to kind of go around it. Wow, this gesso is getting dark. Strange and interesting things happening here. I can't really reach so well over here on this right side. I'm having trouble reaching it from my position. I know you can't see me on camera. You're just seeing, where did I put the gesso? Here it is. Let's just cover this little corner. Oh, geez, Grace. Jeez, Louise, that was too much. Oh, well, it's there now. So what I tend to do is like, just let's not waste it. Let's offload it on the next page. It'll be just fine. You notice this isn't full coverage, and you notice that the brush strokes aren't perfect. It doesn't matter. It's a primer. It's going to get covered multiple times over with other things. So it truly doesn't matter. Okay. Got a little bit of primer on there. That's good stuff. I better grab a wipe because I got paint on my table and I don't want it to be permanent. There we go. Hey, Virginia. You're always welcome. You guys never have to apologize for being late. You're always welcome here. Okay, I absolutely love this whole corner. So this is going to go here. I don't want the white edges though. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the white edges. So I'm just wetting along the white edge. And I want more of this than that. We have a lot of space to cover, actually. And I usually will cover some of my paper up with more paint, or I'll end up covering some of it with foil. So again, I don't need perfection in the way that I pull this apart. I just don't want this white frame around it. And I'm going to grab this entire corner right here, like that'll go there. Then we're going to have a girl here. I'm not sure which one yet. One of these lovely ladies is going to go over here, and she takes up a good chunk of this. I'm going to put another little bit of this maybe down in this corner. Like right here. And I'll even sometimes like to span the two pages to really tie them together. So I'm just getting a general idea for in my head for how I want to do this. And then maybe something up here. Yeah. Anybody else use rice paper when you art journal? I have a really big selection, you guys, of rice paper in the store. This page that I'm using here is called Cracked. It's a decoupage queen paper, and it's called Cracked, C-R-A-C-K-E-D. If you like it and you want to go grab a sheet of it, there's one less now because I just pulled it to use it. I did just place an order for some more rice papers to come to restock a few of the ones that have been sold out or a low quantity, and then adding a few new designs. So you guys check the store out frequently because you guys don't know it. I don't always announce it, but I do make changes to the store, like adding things, putting things on sale. Oh, I really love this. I don't want this to just be one big band here. Like I want it to be misshapen. I don't want it to look like a perfectly poised piece of paper. I like them to be kind of misshapen. But I don't like the way that's going into her forehead, truth be told. So let's do something like that. And then maybe I'll fill in another one over here. And this is it's gonna get filled with all kinds of stuff. Foils for sure, stenciling probably, and lots of paint. And I really do want to focus on the metallics. I gotta take my sweater off because I'm getting hot. Will I be getting new Halloween papers? They were all sold out, girls. When I went to go order from Decoupage Queen, like all of the Halloween papers were sold out. So I meant to send her a message and ask Teresa if she's getting more in, but I haven't done that yet. So I'll try to remember to do that. Okay, I think I'm good with this layout kind of. So I think I'm going to get the papers down and then we'll start working to layer things on top of that, if that makes any sense. You can use anything at all to get your papers to stick down. I'm going to grab a decoupage medium though. Let's see, I'm almost through with this bottle, so maybe I'll just finish this bottle up. It's almost out. It's almost completely empty. So let's finish. We'll use some of it up. Maybe we'll get it all done. And this is matte, and I chose matte. I could have used glossy. I thought about it, but I want some metallic paints, and I also want to use my foils, and I want those to be the shiny aspect of this 2-page spread. So I'm purposefully going to use matte otherwise, so that when you're looking at the shine in the end, you're going to see foil, which is going to be super shiny, and you're going to see some metallic paints shining through. So I didn't want to use a glossy decoupage glue for that reason. Is anybody else creating tonight? Who stays up late and creates at night? What time of day do you guys create? Are you morning creatives? Are you nighttime creatives? Are you in the afternoon? When do you like to bust out your creative supplies and get crafty? I do it any time of day. I have no I have no preference. I would do it all day if I could, but I don't generally have that freedom to do it throughout the whole day. So I'll do sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning. Okay, going over and under all of that. Haven't decided yet, her or the other one. Oh, I think maybe her, because she's so bold and this paper's so bold. We shall see. I'm not ready to glue it down yet. I'm going to do a little work with some paints here around these, and maybe I'll even add a little more of this. Boy, I can hear the TV, so I hope you guys cannot hear it. Sometimes it feels so loud to me. Okay, we'll see. We're going to hold on to the rest of that for later. Let's start playing with some paints. Now, I need a black. I think I need a black, but I could use gesso. I don't necessarily need a black paint. I could use gesso. Let's see. I'll get a gray paint. I don't even see black over here. Where's my black? I might need some more paint, more black. All right, there's a little bit of gray. Now, I have to keep in mind that whoever she is, she's going to go over here, and it needs to be rather bright behind her. I can't have like this big glob of gray right here. I actually need to reserve that for over here because I need to have her background needs to be mainly white so that we can see her. So now I'm just going to fill in around. Oh, there goes my gold. I know I do go over my papers, especially the edges of them, because I want that paper and the paint to look like they're part of the same project. And so you gotta go over your edges and cover up. And this just comes with practice. You're just gonna start practicing and playing with your supplies to do this. Maybe we'll have a dark edge all the way around. This is a gray, not black. Couldn't find my black, but I have this I could use. And let me grab a blue and get that in there. Where's in the copper? Where's the blue that I thought really matched well? This one, I think. I've not used this in a long time. Oh, Vicky, good for you. She said I plan on creating again sometime soon. I've not used this in a long time. It's probably clogged. Hey, text BFF. You bleed onto other pages, even with the matte? Yeah, this one, the cover was clogged. So I'm just going to go in there and grab some of this and see. So this is a metallic paint. It's not matte like the other one was. So maybe, gosh, it's pretty. I really love it. But when as I'm blending it in, the gray is still kind of wet. So it's losing its metallic sheen as I blend it in with the gray. But when it's on its own, it is quite bright and beautiful. Like, see the difference when it's not blended in versus when it's blended. So let's get it blended in, and then we'll do something maybe with the stencil. I'm going to go with a little black over here just to add some. So it's not all the same everywhere. And I really like my edges traditionally to be darker than, or brighter, but usually I do darker than the rest of the project. So I'm going to take some of that black and put it along my edges for sure, because that's just usually what I do to frame out the page. I don't want it to look like a black stripe like that. That's not what I want. So I could just go in and that would give me literally a black frame, and that's not what I want. So that's why you see me doing a lot of the circular motions, is I'm trying to make the paint blend together and not look like straight strokes. I like to use this circle, blending the paint in that way. So I've got it really dark over here. It's actually too dark for my taste. I may come in with another piece of this paper over this section. And like I said, I definitely am going to use a stencil. I know that for sure. I want to use some gold and I want to use some foils. So I'm just playing with the paper, playing with the colors, seeing what we're getting here. This is really a funky paper. I'm going to dry brush over it a little bit so it doesn't look like such a perfect piece of paper sitting there. Okay. If she's the girl, see behind her eye is that dark gray spot. Looks like she has a black eye. That's hilarious to me. Okay, let's get some more of this paper. I'm going to get a little chunk of this. And I do like a little bit of a pattern behind my girls, because because I like to use women quite often as subjects in my art pages. And I do like a little bit of the pattern, either behind their face or behind their neck, like somewhere behind them. So I get very specific about where I position it though, so that it doesn't, so it makes sense in my head what I did with it. See, I'm being very specific. If I put her down in this lower right corner and I put that there, it'll be right behind her neck, which I kind of like. Maybe I want it to go this way though. Maybe not such a big piece showing like that. Okay, I like it just where it is, and so I want to keep the positioning. I'm holding everything down. I'm just going to hold that one piece down. I'm going to grab my decoupage gel, my decoupage glue and varnish, and get that down on there because that's where I want it. Now, if I do want more brightness behind her, I guess now would be the time to work that out as well, because I don't want her to disappear with like these little spots that I have here. I probably will cover those up so that she looks more pure. Otherwise, it looks like she has a booger falling out of her nose. Right there, it looks like there's something wrong with that girl. Okay, let's just grab a brighter paint, kind of clean up this area where she's going to get glued down. This isn't quite white. It's light buttermilk. I know it looks very bright next to the beige, but it's actually called buttermilk. So same brush. I haven't even changed my paintbrush, but I'm going to brighten this area up a little bit. It has enough of the gray on there that it's actually turning it slight gray. I'm going to get a different paintbrush because I really do want this to be brighter. Oh, tiny little paintbrush. Grabbed the wrong size. All right, let's just get this bright. I don't need it to be perfectly bright behind her. I just want it to be brighter. And I want to get those dark, really dark spots out of there because, like I said, it kind of looked like a booger. I know it sounds gross, but listen, I live with all boys. We talk boogers, we talk farts, we talk all the boy things. Now see how much brighter that is behind her face, which I love. I'm going to do the same thing down here where her neck goes, where her neck is. You won't be able to see any of this paint job because she's going on top of it. But let's brighten this up too. That will make this paper pop even more behind her neck. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. And you see, I keep putting her down. The paint is wet, so I'm getting paint on the back. This stuff does not get me worked up at all. Like I do not, you can be super careful and dry everything in between each decision that you make. But I kind of just go with it. Like it's okay if a little paint gets on the paper. She's going to have so many layers around her, under her, over her, that it's not the end of the world. Look at this stark difference in colors. I told you I was going for bold contrast tonight. Okay, so behind her hair, we have some of this blue, which I actually quite like. I might even add more of that. And right here is that dark blue of that paper. And I will hold this up close when I'm all done so you can see it, but I really like the way that turned out. So we're in good shape. I'm just going to brighten up this spot right here a little bit more. Right here. Again, I want the contrast. Okay, now this absolutely has to dry before I can do anything with it. So I'm going to take the dryer to it and I'll check comments. See what everybody's saying. It's so pretty, Tony Lynn. Well, thank you. I always say it gets ugly before it gets prettier. But I love the inspiration for the paint colors and the foils is coming from this. And I'm really loving that blue that's in there. If I can use this metallic blue, see how it's very similar. So we're going to use this metallic peacock pearl, and we're going to do bright pops of that. Or like I said, I am going to try to pull in some foils. And if I don't find a foil that's similar to that color, I'll end up using maybe a black foil on some of the parts that are black. But I'm just loving this as my inspiration for what to do here. That's pretty dry. It's not completely dry, but it's pretty darn good. Okay. She would go here. Again, I do not like the strong lines, and there's actually a line here, like right on top of her head, and I don't like that. So we got to get rid of it. Same thing as I did with the others. I'm going to wet it. Her collage paper is like a really thin tissue paper. I also want to get rid of this line on the side here because she has a black line. It almost looks like a copier line, like from a like she put it through the copier and there was that dark line, that exposed light. Oh, this might not tear as easily. It is not, it's not like a napkin. It's more like a tissue paper, but it actually might be more sturdy than even tissue paper. This is not ripping very easily on this side. Just give me a little bit of trouble. Come on, Miss Dina. Don't give me any trouble. Succumb to my will. Oh, I'm naming it Dina. That was the artist. This is her sketch. So, it just won't do it. Like, what's your issue? What is your issue? I would like to know why you're being such a nudge. Do I need to use a ruler to rip you? Is that what you're telling me? You want me to do this? No, it won't rip, you guys. I got part of her hair, which I did not want. What is going on right here? Why are you being such a nudge? This is how I talk to myself when I'm cleaning the house, or, you know, if the vacuum's not working. I do talk to inanimate objects. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has conversations with things like this paper being such a nudge. Okay. The top of her head is missing, but actually this dark paper happens to be right in that place where her head would be completed. It is definitely a little bigger, but I may come in here and do some foiling with black. So we'll see. And then see right here, I have this extra space right here that's white. We'll decide later whether or not we want to fill that in with some black. I've been known to like complete the like her head not being there. You could just go in with a Stabilo pencil or something, or black paint, and finish it off if you wanted to. Same thing here. Like, we have her shoulders here, but I just tore off this edge of paper, and you know, her shoulder isn't completed. So maybe we'll do that later. I'm really liking, though, this streak of white in here. So let's add a little more white, and maybe, well, let's just stick with the buttermilk since that's what we've been using. I'm going to need this one more time, this decoupage glue, but I'm going to add a little streak of white in here to add some contrast. Again, I don't like straight streaks. That's not my style. I don't usually do that. I usually do little circles to kind of fill in the blanks. But, I mean, you could do just a straight streak if you wanted. It's just not usually what I do. There's nothing wrong with a straight streak. It's just, I don't know. You just have a style. Everybody kind of develops their own style eventually. You will too, I promise, if you do this enough. Okay. I'm just liking the dark contrast here, and I don't know where exactly do I want to take this. It does help me to look up, actually, when I'm recording or broadcasting live to you. I look up at my computer screen just like you're seeing it. Sometimes my face is on the project down here where my hands are, but every once in a while I like to look up at the computer screen where you're seeing it because it gives me a better perspective of the whole project. So I can decide if I want to add like brightness on this side even more, which I think I do. So now I'm not re-wetting my paintbrush. I'm just fading some of that really bright color out beyond that streak that I made. Right here, I'm not liking the shape of that. I want it to look a little more random. Okay, that might get covered some later with some more paint, but I'm just kind of running with it. I just kind of let my imagination go away with it. Okay. That streak threw me off. I was showing you what I usually don't do, and then I ended up with a streak that I usually don't do. So it's kind of throwing me off, but it's not to say that it's bad. It's just throwing me off. Okay, I'm going to grab the peacock. We're going to grab this peacock color. I'm going to grab a round brush, and I actually might use a stencil brush, and I may need a little dish for my paint so I can dip my brush into that. It's very, very thin paint. It's not very thick. A lot of these metallic colored paints, it must be something that they do, the properties of the paint, they end up being very thin. Okay, so here I'm really loving this bright blue, but I want it to be brighter. So I'm just going to pounce this in so it looks like it has a texture. And I may, see how much brighter it is when I'm not blending it with that gray paint. And in here, something definitely has to happen there. And I'm thinking more stark black right in here to contrast. See how dark that is? Oh, you guys, maybe I should stencil something black right there. It's just playtime. Okay, I used this brush earlier for something. Practicing something for the Craft Therapy Club members. Oh, it's stiff from the paint I used earlier. But let's see if I can use this to spread the paint. I don't want brush strokes. I want it to be textury. So we're going for like stark white, stark black. It's a look we're trying to achieve here. Maybe I can use, I got to figure out how I'm going to work the stencil in. I absolutely do want to work a stencil in here. Oh, I love this like cloudy blackness all over. I love it. This gesso from Liquitex is very, very like jet black. I didn't realize I was out of like black craft paint, but I am. All I have is this. This is all I can find is multi-surface, and I don't want to use multi-surface on here. So we can use gesso. It works just fine. And by pouncing it, I'm getting a little bit more of a textured look to the way the paint looks. I have a white shirt on with black polka dots. I better not get any of this paint on me. I've only worn this shirt a few times. Oh, I love this darkness all around her. She's going to be over here bright white. And then let's just add, let's do this. Let's muck up this white streak a little bit so it's not so perfect. I really should probably just get her in place because I keep moving her around. I probably should just glue her down, huh? We don't need this excess paper around her head. Let's just glue her down and we can keep working around her. This right here, what do you think? Like, it almost looks like it completes her head, but I'm not sure that I'm loving it. Tell me what you think of that corner right there. In the meantime, let's get her, I need, ugh, Grace, you're such a mess. I need decoupage glue all the way up here and all the way here. That all has to get a layer of decoupage glue for that paper. I'm going to get this glue down. You tell me, what do you think I should do up in that corner by her head? I got a little piece of paper stuck on my brush. Oh, I think I hear Gannon coming. He's coming in from work probably. Yep, if it's 10 o'clock, Gannon's home from work. He's not feeling good, ladies. He is not feeling great, so he might come in and give me a little mama check-in here. I don't know, I think I got that off the, I don't want the straight edges, so I'm kind of getting her kind of off the edge of the, I am out of space, off the edge of the book because I don't want that straight edge. Oh, I didn't get enough over here for that little bit of paper. Ooh, she's cool. She is very cool. I don't think I have enough glue under here. Let's see if we can peel it back. I think I need more. There we go. This is where the paper is, underneath her neck. So I'm hoping that we can get that wet down enough so that that's really obvious that we see that paper. Really slobbering her up with, with this decoupage medium. Okay, she is stinking cool. Whoa. She's really dramatic. When I look up at the screen, now I can absolutely see that blue halo right there of the metallic blue, the peacock pearl. And I love that. That's why I thought the contrast of the black and the ruddiness of this paper. But if I could pull in that blue in a metallic and then pull in maybe some foils or some more gold, that would be a really stark contrast from the ruddiness and the black. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Isn't it cool, Mary? It's just fun to play. I hope more than anything, that you guys just like feel really inspired would be the word, like motivated to just get your book out and start playing with your stuff. Like you saw how I just pulled, I don't know that I'm going to use all these paints that are laying around. I don't know that I'm going to use all of them. But I like to have them sitting around me so I know what my choices are as I'm working. Let's add a little bit more of this blue right in here. And this is actually it looks quite mild compared to this blue. So maybe I should try the color shift. This is called color shift. Let's put a little bit of that on this dish and see what kind of effect the color shift has. See how much thicker that one is? That one was so thin, it just kind of flattened out on that dish. This one is much thicker. Oop, bristle. I'm just going to try to put a little bit of this on this. Yeah, it's a little bit brighter. It's more bold. Whoa. And it definitely looks different on the black. It looks completely different than it does over here on the gray. Wow, it like almost changed. That's why it's called color chip. It almost changed color. I really like it on the black, that really bold color. So since I really like that on the black, let's add more black up here by her head. I don't know what to do over here by her head. I don't know whether I should, whoa, that was way more than I bargained for in that corner. Okay, too much gesso. Let's put it right there. I don't know what to do with this corner where her head is. What did you guys think I should do over here? Like, this is where her hair should be. Like that. So maybe I should just, oh, that's Landon that came home. That's not Gannon. Now, instead of going like straight black over here, I'm just going to pounce in some black. And let's do this up here too. I do like to go over my paper and blend the paints into the paper. That's kind of my preference, because that, to me, it makes everything look real cohesive when I do that. She's awesome. Holy. I have a lot of black on my brush, and I told you I do generally like a black frame around the whole thing. But here on this side under her, I think I'm not going to put a black frame, because then it would lose some of this detail down here. And I'll hold the page up closer to you so you guys can see it a little better when I'm done. But this section in here where her neck is, I don't think I'm going to do the black frame around there. I think I'm just going to avoid that. But I really love that blue on black. So I'm going to fill in a little more black up in this corner. And then let's get some more. This was mixed with gray, so I'm going to get some more of that stark black up on these edges. So I'm just grabbing my gesso off that paper towel because I had too much in that section. I had to pull it off. Okay, down here where we had that streak, maybe I want to fill in a bit over here, so that white streak isn't so streaky looking. It looks a little more random. So really, I have covered up, here's a piece of that paper, here's a piece of that paper, a piece under her neck. This piece up here got almost all covered up. Totally fine. You can still see a little bit of it above her head. And then this piece is the most prevalent, the one that we can see the most. Okay, now I take a minute. I'm just going to look at it in its entirety. I think it's time for me to dry and then add some of the metallics and the foils and some stenciling. I got to figure out, if I do stenciling, where am I going to stencil and what am I going to stencil? I have a snakeskin looking stencil that kind of reminds me of the texture on this paper. So maybe I should grab that. Hey, Annette. How are you, friend? It's okay that you're here late. I'm just happy you're here. I think once I dry the gesso, then these blues will, how did I lose power here? Oh, my plug came undone. I think once I dry the gesso, then the blues will show up. They'll sit on top of the gesso instead of mixing with it. So instead of being lighter, they'll be more vibrant. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. In here, I added all that black, and now I feel like it's a little bit too much black. But we're going to stencil, so I don't have to worry about that. Maybe that could be the place where I'm going to add the stenciling with the metallics. But this is the color shift right here, this color right here. So let me grab that. That's what it looks like on my brush. It does not look like that there. It looks like a totally different color, but that's what that is right there. So let's see when we add more of this to this section, just like a blob of, wow, it is so different on the black than it is on that grayish and the tan colors up here. What a huge difference the way it looks. Okay. This blob of green, or whatever color it is, the color shift, like it here, and I'll probably add some more somewhere else. But first I'm going to go figure out, I'm going to grab my stencils and figure out which stencil I want to use, because I may just use this color shift for the stenciling. So on my stencils. Of course, they're the bottom bin underneath this stack. Whoa, that was heavy. Dropped it. Okay. Bin of stencils. This one right here is the one that I have in mind. It kind of looks like snakeskin. I was going to use this one, but I think I like the snakeskin, and I think the snakeskin could be really cool coming out of this section and filling in this blue. And maybe I'll do a combination of gold and this color shift. So next thing to do is to pick the gold color that I want to use. I originally talked about using this penny color. I might. Maybe I do want to use penny. Let's grab another dish. Put a little bit of that on there. And I'll grab a different stencil brush so I can keep my penny separate, my color penny separate from the blue. Okay. Let me grab a little bit of this color penny. And I'm going to put it in this section here. Let's just, I want to peek. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, ma'am. That's what I want. It gives your eye like the feeling of texture, even though it's not textured. It gives visual texture because of the stencil, the design of the stencil. Oh, this is cool. I'm trying not to hit the edges because I don't like the straight lines of the stencil. So if I want to go beyond here, I need to pick up the stencil and move it over to bring that design up here. I don't like to hit that straight edge because I don't want to see a straight line of stencil. This is so freaking cool. I'm so happy with it. So when you're watching me do this, I know it's really hard to visualize. It is even for me sometimes, like, how is this all going to come together and be artistic or be pretty? Because it does just look like a whole lot of blobs of paint. But this is where the layering is your friend, because you're going to keep building layering on top of these blobs. You're adding other layers that really bring out like your imagination with the different shapes, with the stencil, the shapes of the paint, the way that I laid the paint. It all helps to bring it together in your mind's eye. Okay, I do want to use a little bit of that color shift with this stencil. So I've got my copper on there. I need to put this somewhere where it's not in my way. Let's grab some of the color shift and do some of that through this stencil along the same line as the snakeskin is coming. I'm going to come in here. So it's the same color as up here, but instead of being stippled on, I'm stenciling it on so that we get a different, same color, but we're adding the stencil, the texture of the stencil, or the shape of the snakeskin. Now I'm taking that same color and going over the white streak. And so that blue, that color shift blue, is actually turning into like a light green over here. Do you see that? That's freaking interesting, isn't it? It is the same color here, 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 and here, but it looks completely different. That's the color shift. I think I need to put some of this up here, some of this blue up in this corner. I'm out of the color shift, but I have, this is the other color, isn't it? This is the one? No, this isn't it. This is the color. I had the peacock pearl here. Do you see how thin that paint is? It's not really spreading very well. I'm having better luck with the color shift. Folk Art Color Shift Aqua Flash, it's called. And it's for stenciling. It's actually better too, because it's that nice and thick formula. Thin paint is not good for stenciling. You want thicker paints. Okay, let's get a little bit of this color up here by her head, just in this corner. Oh, I love it. I love how the blue is like a streak that goes down the middle. I think I'm going to add a little bit in this white area here. I think I'll go this direction with the stencil and add some of this here. And it actually looks green on the white. It looks more blue on the gray color, and it looks very bright electric blue on black. What an interesting paint. It's been really fun to play with this in this journal. This got smeared, so I'm just going to smear it. It got smudged. But I think the crease of the book smudged it a little bit. Okay, I really feel like I should, am I getting carried away with the blue? I feel like right in here, I want to put a little bit of this blue. But instead of, I have all this coppery colored stencil right here. And I have the blue stencil shape here and here. So instead of doing more stenciling, I think what I'll do is I'll just stipple on some more of this color shift right in this section here, just to brighten that up a little. Maybe I'll even go over my stenciling just a little. So when you're overlapping these layers, I'm going over that line where the paper is. I'm going over the stenciling a little bit. This is what helps to give these pages some depth, because you're overlapping things now. Look at how green it looks on the dish. And then when I put it on the page, look at how blue it looks on the black. It is such an interesting like, how did they do that? How did this green paint turn into this electric blue? I don't know how it works. It's called color shift. It's fascinating to me. I'm having so much fun playing with it. Okay, it's so much blue. Now over here, she's very plain. And I don't know that I want to mess with her too much, to be truthful with you. I think I'll add a little bit of the copper down in here, and not through the stencil. I think I'm just going to stipple some of this penny copper color down here to cover up where the paper ends and to tie this color in down here. It just looks like it needs a little help down here, so why not add this copper? Yeah. Geez, girls, do I just leave her alone? Do I not mess with her at all? Like, her face is just so pure and perfect. I feel like I shouldn't mess with her too much. Let's take some of that copper and put it up here by her head. Again, trying to tie everything together. I might come down into her forehead a little bit with that. She's like melted into the page, which I love. You would leave her alone, Nancy? That's kind of what I'm thinking too. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I just feel a little bit like I want to do something to her lips. Should I add the blue to her lips or the copper? She's so pretty and perfect, even with that little bit of paper behind her neck right there. I really do like her the way she is. But should I do something with her lips? Mary says it's perfect now. Leave her except the top of her head. All right, let's just add, I was just adding a little bit of that copper up here. Just, again, to tie this copper color in with up there. Like, the idea is just to make sure that I'm repeating the same colors throughout the whole 2-page spread so that it looks super cohesive. I'm looking up at it. I feel like in here, I should put just a little bit of this copper up in this corner right here. It's crazy. It's just paint stippled on there, stenciled on there with a little bit of paper in the background for more visual interest, right? But even if you didn't have the paper, you could do this with your paints that you have on hand and just play with them and have fun and see what kind of results you get. And I keep pulling my face, my eyes off of the, like here, right here, I'm focusing on this spot right here, but then I'll stop doing that and I look at the whole thing in its entirety so I can see if I feel like an area is missing something. Like this feels really bright to me right here. This just feels a little bit too, I'm going to tone that down a little bit with the copper. Oh, I love this section right here so much. I really do. That was that other paint. I think that I started with this paint over here. Do I dare go in there? Do I dare do it? Where's my hold on. Looking for my dirty paper towel that has the gesso on it. I just want to, oh, it's got too much gesso on there. It's turning, see how black it is? Let me get a new paintbrush. And I'll get a littler one. I'm going to grab some of that. This is not the color shift. This is the other one, the really thin one. Wow, that is just cool. It's just cool. Now, I haven't even gotten to foils yet, but I don't even think I need them. I was certain I was going to use foils, but are you seeing like how metallic this is? I'm going to try to hold this up a little bit so that maybe the light for the ring light will give you guys an actual view of how bright the metallics are. Just hang tight. I'm just trying to make way for picking this up. I got to get rid of all the things so I have some room to pick it up. Let me get this out of here because I don't need it right now. I want to pick this up and show you the metallics. So again, it's the color shift and this DecoArt metallic peacock pearl. These were the two colors that I used. I didn't even end up having any gold in here. Do you think I need gold or do you think that the penny copper is enough? So see, this is the penny copper color, that brownish color. And then can you see how it's got a sheen to it? I may not even need foils. Do you see how that paint is very shiny? And then here, I do need still to cut. I'll have to cut or use, it might be easier to use the sanding block to get this rice paper off the edge, or the collage paper is what she calls hers, off the edge here. Let's neaten that up. I've got some on the bottom too. So lots of blending, lots of playing with colors. I let the paper kind of determine the paint colors that I chose. And ironically, the paper is what ended up kind of hiding away in the background. It's here, really obvious right there. Well, if you didn't see me put paper down, you might not know that that's actually rice paper right there. But that was the inspiration for the colors that I chose on here. I wanted to have a huge amount of contrast of black and dark metallics with her being the bright spot on the page and the focal point. So once you can pick your colors, once you can pick your focal point, then you can just start layering things down and playing with it to, you know, just kind of experiment and see what you got. Now, I did not have an intention or a plan. A lot of times I'll put some kind of phrase or wording on the blank, like I would call it the white space. Like she's the focal point, and then over here, maybe a phrase or wording. But I don't even think I'm going to do that on this page. I am really happy with this page just like it is. The only other thing that I intended to do, like I said, but I did not do, was the foil. I'm going to grab my foils. Hold on. Let me just grab these and see if there's something in here that appeals to me. I was going to get gold in there. I could probably put some color, like these gold. They're like black and gold flakes. Oh, look at this. That's super blue. I think I have plenty of blue though. I have sheets of foil. I have the flakes. I have regular, just like gold and copper foil. Maybe it's some of these flakes. Are they too bold? They are really bold. I think it would just be too much. Honestly, I think I like the balance of the metallic against the black matte gesso. So I don't think I'm going to mess with it. I really don't. Here's my gesso that was like the base for all of it. And it really did. That color shift paint was really, really fun to play with. I might have to get some more of that color shift paint. All right, girls, let me check comments and see what you girls are all saying about this page. Nancy says I would leave it alone. Susan, you love it? Ah, thanks. I'm so glad you love it. That makes me happy. That makes me so happy. I would love to know, like, how many of you are journaling on a regular basis or want to journal on a regular basis. We do journal regularly in the Craft Therapy Club, and I usually incorporate napkins. So we do napkin journaling in the Craft Therapy Club. So if you wanted to do it more regularly and just needed a little, you know, backup and support and inspiration for how to use your supplies, the Craft Therapy Club may be a good place for you to consider getting into. Otherwise, I do it here. I'm so glad that Janice brought it up. You know, it was Janice Williams that said, I feel like you haven't done an art journal page in a long time. Let's do that tonight. I had asked, what do you guys think we should work on? So thank you to Miss Janice for saying art journal page. I had so much fun with the one I did in the Craft Therapy Club for the members on Saturday. So I'm just as happy to do another one for you guys here on the public page. Hi, Charlotte. Hello, hello, friend. Aw, thanks, Amanda. You gonna watch the replay? Hey, Lisa, how are you, friend? I didn't watch much working on a page, but it does look beautiful. Oh, Holly, good for you. She's working and watching. She's working on her own page. Share it in the group. We want to see it in the club when you're done. Add it to the Craft It Challenge to make sure you get another chance to win the monthly prize. Amanda said, I painted a dragon with a color shift paints and they are fun. I only have that one, Amanda. I only have that one color, and it's crazy how it looks so different. In some places it looks real green, and some places it looks super electric blue is what I would call it. So I don't know. The last question is, do we put something on her lips? I've tempted to make her lips electric blue. Should I put a little bit of that? I think it would look really cool to either do the copper paint or the blue paint on her lips. What do you think? You answer in the comments. That will be my last question for you for the night. Should we do, I'm just going to put these paints away while you guys are answering in the comments. Should we do copper or blue metallic paint on her lips? One of these two colors. I still have them out, so I could totally do that. Where's the copper? Oh, that one's right there. I would love to know. Do you think it would really tie everything in really well? I think. You were thinking eyeshadow. Ooh, interesting idea. The copper paint on the lips, Deb says. Janet says do blue. Amanda says she's beautiful just the way she is. This is the real fun part too, girls. Like when I see someone create and I think, oh, I would have done this or I would have done that. And I really love it, but I would have done this. That can be so much fun to like envision how you would actually finalize the project. Okay, I'm getting a little brush. Get a little tiny brush for her lips. Yep, this will work. Oh, I think I'm going to do blue. The color shift blue. The color shift is fun. I think so too. Maureen says, do it, the blue. Susan says blue if you're going to add it. I know she is beautiful just the way she is. And you know what? Let me just point something out. It is okay to walk away from this. Sometimes what I'll do, you know what, you guys, this is what we'll do. Just to make my point. Sometimes what I'll do when I'm unsure is I'll just walk away for the page for the night, like it's nighttime, so or for the day, like I'll walk away, go do something else for a few hours, you know, make supper, watch TV, do whatever I have to do during my day. And then when I come back to my craft room and this is still sitting here, or the next time you open your book, you can decide whether you want to make an adjustment there. Because you can't take it off once it's on. So if you're really truly undecided, sometimes it's good just to leave it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it tonight. When I wake up in the morning and I come back to this table, I'll make my decision and I will post a final photo or video showing you what I decided, whether to add the lips or not. I'm really leaning toward, and I almost just did it. I have the brush out and everything, adding that blue to her lips. Because I think that would be really, kind of makes me think of, you know, that MTV video, that AHA video. These sketches remind me of that AHA video. I wish I could think of the name of the song, but it was an old MTV video, and they were sketches that walked through the scenes in the video. It was a video, but it was all sketch work. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about. But that's what she reminds me of, is those black and white sketches in that video from AHA. I think that was the band. I do have glazing medium. I do. Yeah, would you put it all over the whole thing? Take on Me. That's the song. Shauna, that is exactly the song. Isn't that it? Gia, you guys are confirming, so I'm not so crazy. Sometimes I think menopause brain, like I say things and I'm like, that's not right. It's like I have a total brain fog half the time. A tad of blue eyeshadow. She has room up here on this lid for sure for a little bit of eyeshadow. That's a fun idea. Susan, I like that idea. Aha! Gia and Shauna, you guys knew what I was talking about. Thank you for confirming that I'm not going out of my mind. Copper paint on the lips. Debbie, I could see that too. I think that would be really cool. I always put the date on here too. I'll stamp the date on here as well. I do like to get my date stamp. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Well, you guys are chit-chatting in the comments. Holy, I used a ton of paint today. Getting ready for a gel print class or workshop or session in the Craft Therapy Club this week. Is that this week? Yeah, it is this week. Okay, what is today's date? It is the 8th, right? There we go, August 8th. Before I go in on my project, I always I have to test the date stamper. Yeah, make sure it has the right date, because sometimes I've been known to put them in the wrong order on this little date stamper. There we go, August 8th, 2023. You witnessed it right here at the Comfy Nest of Grace. Another successful art journal page. All right, girls. Thank you for joining me. It's your birthday today, Shauna. Everybody wish Shauna a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. You don't want me to sing though. Amanda's looking forward to the gel printing. It is going to be so fun. I'm going to show you some really cool things to do. Happy birthday. Everybody wish her a happy birthday. That's so fun. It's her birthday today. Tomorrow's wishing you a happy birthday. Go enjoy it. I hope you sleep well, rest well tonight, ladies. Blessings to all of you for a very good night. If you're catching the replay, please let me know in the comments that you're here. I would love to hear from you, even on YouTube. You guys, many blessings. Go create something pretty that brings your heart joy. I'll catch you next time. Bye.